Hey, what's going on, guys? It's your buddy, Norm James, host of the Leafs Convo for Oak Ridge Ford on YouTube, oakridgeford.com. We've got a few days left in the month of April before May hits, and we're going to have some price hikes to come. In the meantime, we've got 0% on a lot of model lines, very low rates, a very good opportunity if you're looking for a vehicle. You know how it goes. In the spring, people are always looking for cars. I am your guy for Leafs content, certainly for your next vehicle. Mike is not with us tonight. He will be back on Sunday. We're going to do the spectacular after game 4. The question is, will it be after a 4-game Maple Leaf sweep, or will the Senators punch back, get a win, and make this a bit of a series? Who really knows? I wanted to do about 10 minutes with you one-on-one. The last time just you and I did a show was about 2 years ago. We were having a good time during the Tampa series. I had a couple of pops. I was on here having a good time, and it was a blast. Last year, it was quick and dirty with the Bruins. I had other things going on, coaching baseball, so I wasn't able to spend any time with you. But now it feels pretty good, a bit liberating, maybe getting ahead of myself. A 3-0 series lead for the Maple Brothers, which is fantastic. I got to think that they're going to get through this series. Whether the Ottawa Senators can come back and take game 4 and fight back, which I expect them to try to do. I do believe the Leafs are strong enough to be able to get through this thing. I just wanted to say thanks to everybody, because it's usually Mike and I going on about things and everybody complaining about how much of a curmudgeon Mr. Augello is. But if you've been with us through the last 7 years and beyond that, when Mike and I were doing podcasts on SoundCloud and with the Chorus Radio Network, AM 980, Mike's always been very pessimistic because he is a jaded Leafs fan. What else do you expect from that guy? Let's just go through a little bit of a roll call tonight. We've got Bird watching life here. Howdy, Norm. Howdy, BWL. I appreciate you being here very much. Mr. Christie 2002 is in the mix. Good evening, NJ. Good evening to you, Mr. Christie 2002. Of course, Wilford Whiskey's in the mix. Wilford, what is up? Thank you very much for being with me tonight. And where's the man? Michael Matthew on his yacht in the Caribbean. Schweep. Wouldn't that be nice? They've set themselves up in a very, very advantageous way to get something done here, right? Not only put away their provincial rivals, get the retribution that the Senators kind of deserve, because, the Sens did dominate the regular season series, and it was the Sens kind of Stanley Cup. Beating the Maple Leafs was all fine and dandy, but the Leafs had other things on the agenda, and that was win a division, which they did, and now they're into the playoffs, and they've done a really nice job handling the Senators. It does not look like a comparable matchup. And that's no disrespect to the Sens and Travis Green and what he's doing with that group. They're just not there. The Leafs, on the other hand, have been tried, tested, and not so true year in and year out of losing in the first round. It has to take its toll. And unfortunately for the Senators, it looks like they're the team that's bearing the brunt of the Leafs' aggression and the Leafs need to make a statement to get on through the first round. So as Mike Augello pointed out many a time, and he's not the only one, the Leafs were to do themselves a lot of favors to win the division and draw the weakest link in the chain, which they did. And so far, so good. 3-0 for the Maple Brothers, with game 4 tomorrow in Ottawa. It would be nice to see the Leafs sweep it, not just because you're, getting rid of your provincial rivals, sending them packing and making to reassess what's going on, and they can plan for the future. But in terms of the overall war of attrition that is taking place right now, if they can get through it with no injuries, get the win done, and then take a breath while Florida and Tampa sort out their differences, the Leafs will do themselves many a favor by getting this series wrapped up as soon as possible. Easier said than done, especially when Florida's up 2-0 on Tampa. You got to think the Lightning are going to push back a little bit. If that thing goes 6 or 7, the Leafs can convalesce, get healthy, get prepared, and get mentally focused on the task at hand if they beat the Senators, and that's take down one of these fucking Florida teams, right? They'd have to do it 2 times in a row against the Lightning. If they face the Bolts, most likely the Panthers, and they do have some retribution that has to be definitely on their minds, especially with Craig Berube at the helm of the team now, knowing how things have fared with the Panthers over the last few years. The Leafs being set to take on a team that's a bit wary, a bit tired, and trying to defend its title, which is a very hard thing to do. They may be positioned really, really well to do that. But we all know as Leaf fans, we can't get ahead of ourselves because every time we do, it bites us in the ass. Veets, nice to see you tonight, man. Are you still in Woodbridge? I hope you are, because that's exactly where you should be. Norm, Mike was wrong on the starting goalie issue and calling the Sens in 7. You know, Mike is a very analytical guy and he's a very smart guy, and I can't speak for him because he's not here, but I have worked with him for almost 20 years. I think Mike speaks more from experience. There's really, there's no reason for him to think this is the year when he's thought this is the year many a time before and it's bit him in the ass. So it's a protective measure, right? There's been and I say this in a very light way when it comes to the sports context of using this word, but he's been through a lot of abuse over the years, and many Maple Leaf fans have, including myself. The years where you think this is it, right? Go back to 2002. The Leafs won 2 rounds in the playoffs, then beat Carolina in the first game of the Eastern Conference Final. This was a gimme, and they lost in 6? Right? That was just rough. I know that was 20 plus years ago, but it's not like the Leafs have done much since then. It was just a wandering of the wilderness for many years. And then the past 10, what the hell has happened? You've got, all world players, the biggest free agent signing in history, Marner coming aboard, Nylander coming around, somewhat of a blue chip defenseman coming aboard. And the Leafs have 1 playoff win to show for it. So I don't blame Mike for not banging the drum or believing that this is the year, when year in and year out, when you've had teams that have had 100-point seasons, Rocket Richard Trophy performances from players, not doing anything. It's a protective measure. Deep down, like all of us, we want the Leafs to win, and we want to be wrong. I go on DraftKings and I'll put a $3 bet against a team that I think I'd like to win, but I think isn't going to, because just the metrics suggest otherwise. I don't care if I lose $3. I want the Jays to win, right? I want these teams to win, even if I don't think they're going to, and it might make me a couple of bucks. At the end of the day, I want them to win. And I think Mike, it's just that the type of guy he is, it's the glass is half empty, and that's just what it's about. And, in terms of content, there are all kinds of people who are pounding their chests and painting their faces and going on about how the Leafs are going to do this and that. And then when it's all over, kind of cry over spilt milk. It's the way it is. From our perspective, I mean, we're hardened. We just don't think it's going to happen until it happens. And then, you know what? If we have to eat crow, I'll cook it on the barbecue and I'll eat in front of everybody. Lamb Knot, where is he here? Oh, my man. I was at the Metallica show when the Leafs scored in overtime. What's the name of the lead singer? James Hetfield, something like that. Wasn't he at the game? So, I mean, these guys show up and we all feel like they give a shit about us, but they just end up in some random city that they don't even know they're in, and they're at a hockey game they really don't give a fuck about. But hey, we feel good about it. Ross Vasil, let's go, guys. Well, it's just let's go me. So thanks for being here, and I appreciate it very much. Who else do we have? T-Sack. Where is he? Sweet. T-Sack, are you an OG yet? If you aren't, if I haven't made you one, welcome to the club. If I have, well, you're like a 3 or 4 time OG, and that makes you extra special. Sweet. I mean, wouldn't that be nice just from so many different points of view? Giving the guys a bit of a rest. I mean, Anthony Stolarz, you can't think that he's 100% with the energy bar. I mean, guys are trying to take runs at him. This is the most he's ever played. And the way he's played is just incredible. 81 shots, only 6 goals against. Like, I can't see Joseph Woll coming into off-spell Anthony Stolarz for a long period of time, and then Stolarz resuming his spot as his team progresses forward. I mean, this is his net, right? So if they can get out of this series, get out of it as relatively unscathed as possible, and be prepared for what's to come after this, that would be absolutely fantastic. Diecast Archives. Florida is looking scary. Well, what else did you expect? right? And this is one of the reasons why what the Leafs were able to accomplish in the regular season is so damn important, in that they got a chance to face the Ottawa Senators. And like many believed, they've handled the Senators pretty well. Now, can they go for the jugular and finish this thing off? That remains to be seen. Game 4 is tomorrow night. Mike and I will be talking about it on the Sunday Spectacular Sunday morning. What will we be talking about, though? You know, a team that just couldn't get the job done when it was in a position to kill the team that it was on the ropes, or the alternative, and they got it done, finished it off, and now they can take a bit of a breath while the Florida teams go at it. I'm really interested to hear what Mike has to say on Sunday morning and how he spins it all. If they lose and it goes to a game 5, does he fear what's to come? And if they do sweep it, what is his perspective at that point? Let's get to a couple of more comments here. Jeremy W. Definitely an OG out east. He's got the brooms out. Well, I'm glad you're that confident, Jeremy. I'm hoping the same thing deep inside. We've got Aliska Gray. Hey, thanks for being here from Steeltown. You know, I worked in Hamilton for 2 years in the early 2000s during like 9/11 into like 2002. When I left Hamilton and I was driving up Highway 6 for the last time, because I started my the next phase of my career in London, I had tears in my eyes. I love the Hammer. And before I got down there was a lot of people who were shitting all over the Steel City, saying it was a dump and it's terrible and horrible. There were a lot of homicides, a lot of sexual assaults, a lot of fires, a lot of news. But for a guy like myself, who was a videographer, chasing the big story, it was a great place to be. And I got a chance to do a lot of sports casting there too, with Ken Welch, covering the Ticats, the Bulldogs, McMaster. What a great place. I love Hamilton very, very much. I mean, I don't think it really matters much to you, Aliska, but I thought I would share that story. Oh, wait a minute, Veets. He's going to clear up a little bit of a geographical issue that I have with where he's from. Norman from Markham, but at the lake house on the south shore of Lake Simcoe, catching your show, brother. Thank you so much. I mean, you and Michael Matthew are living the good life. Like, for God's sakes, guys, will you cool down? Here I am in my shitty little office. I've got my kids all over the place. My wife's doing dishes, yelling at me because I'm not helping her. But we're convening for another opportunity to get together. And one of the things that I like about what we're doing right now, and that's very important, is that these are the playoffs. This is the special time. This is what we've worked for as a collective, and this is what we've talked about week in and week out, wanting to share these moments together. And that's another reason why I'm going to do these solo shows when Mike isn't available. And that's just to spend more time with you. I don't care how many people are involved in the show, how many views we get. I just want to have a lot of fun, because, I mean, the Leafs Convo is not going to last forever. I've got other things going on. I'm coaching baseball. My kids are getting older. Mike's got a ton of podcasts going. So at some point we may just pull the chute, and that's not a threat or anything like that. It's just, we've been doing this a long time. So the more opportunities we get the chance to share, then the better. Michael Matthew, and I like this a lot. I love the personality of Simone Benoit. I've been a champion of his all season long, and I'm not saying that I was projecting what is going on in the playoffs, but the guy rushes the puck in, dishes to Domi, they score a goal in overtime, and then he just puts the puck on net last night, and he beats Allmark. I mean, it could have been anybody, but why not Simone Benoit? I really like this guy. Mike, you're so correct. And he said after the game, just put the puck on net. It could be anybody. It doesn't really matter. I love just how unassuming he is, and how much he just deflects from himself and puts towards the team. That's the kind of guy I want on my crew. Really, that is the guy I want. Philippe Myers is waiting to get in. I'd rather have Simone Benoit. And I think there are more heroics in store for that guy. And Mike, thank you very much for your contributions tonight. I appreciate it very much. We've got all the OGs in the mix, and that means a lot to me that you guys are still here with us. Make sure to like the content, subscribe to the channel. Anybody who can be an advocate for the program and the content, please do that. We've got Zach, my boy. All the good is great. Nylander has another gear. I mean, Nylander's just hovering around, right? He scored, one of the most effervescent goals of the playoffs, and he's just waiting to get going. And the thing about it is, you don't need to get everybody to contribute at peak to get through the first round. You know that they're sharpening their sticks to get involved in the next round. And believe you me, if the Leafs can win this Senators series in 4, 5, 6, even 7, hopefully not, but if they can get this thing done, they have to be prepared for the battle of their lives against the Florida teams. And if Willie Nylander can step up and be the top contributor, then great. What I really, really like about what's happened so far, and this is just an obvious thing, all of the top core 4, including Riley, so the core 5, have been contributing. It's huge. Now, it's one thing to do it against the Ottawa Senators. It's another thing to do it against a team that's really in your face, that is built for the playoffs, and that has the strap around its waist collectively, and that's most likely the Florida Panthers. You stand up mano a mano against these cats. You beat them. You take away the opportunity for them to retain their crown, and now you have an opportunity to go get it. Paul Matthews, yes, Norm, we got him this year, brother. Isn't that what we want? I mean, isn't that the thing? Isn't that what we're hoping for? Like, that's why we're all here. And you know, we've been so jaded over the years because of all the disappointment. It's okay to believe. Some of us just do it automatically every time we're in a position to go and succeed in the playoffs. And even if the failure is hovering over us, we do it anyway. Others, like myself, like Mike, and you know, a ton of fans, whether young or old, it's deep down in us, but it comes out more after every bit of success that you have. And again, we're not pick-me's. I mean, we're not just here to kind of, you know, go on, jump on the bandwagon. It's just there's a lot of disappointment we faced over the years. Not to say we're victims or anything like that, but we kind of take it game by game. Mike Jednarog, what's going on? Yeah, Willie has to wake up as he engages. I think that's what you mean. Look, Willie's got a goal, which is great. Marner's got 6 points. I mean, Tavares has scored. Riley has scored. Matthews got off to Schneid last night. I mean, the amount of points they have through 3 games versus this year versus last year, I mean, it's not even comparable. They've already scored more points collectively through 3 games in this series than they did in the Boston series last year. Now, let's be honest. The Bruins were a different beast then. But I mean, you can't blame the Maple Leafs for whom they're facing, right? They earned the right to face the Ottawa Senators, so they have to be able to put them out. You can't let them hang around. The thing about it is, like, what does that do for the Maple Leafs if they win this series in 7 after going up 3 games to none, right? It erodes their confidence. It beats them up a little bit. They could lose somebody to injury. What the hell does it do for them? They have to play game 4 like it's game 7. Like it's the game that means more than any other game they've played all season long. Matthews again. I'm just going to do a couple more, guys, and then I'm going to get out of here. We'll see you after watching the Leafs in the 80s with my dad sitting in the Reds. I'll take yours any day. I kind of get what you're saying, man. For sure. I mean, the 80s were terrible. I don't know how you can compare anything that's going on with the 80s, right? Because this team has been in the playoffs many a year. However, let's go back to 2015, right? Like Olli Jokinen. I can't remember the guys who were on that team because it was so embarrassing to watch. And then 2013 when they were up 4-1 and they lost, and then that was terrible. The Ron Wilson days, the Paul Maurice days, just brutal, right? Just absolutely brutal. As the self-proclaimed, mecca of hockey and the top team in hockey with the biggest fan base. I mean, to have such a shitty team, it was embarrassing. And now the embarrassment is, all world players, franchise players, generational players, and to have nothing to show for it, or just one series win over a decade. Now is the time to get this thing done, right? I mean, we can compare decade to decade to decade. This has its own problems, right? It's a different level, but I mean, you can't look back and go, well, we made the playoffs every year for 10 years. And, okay, they're like, look at the Chicago Blackhawks. Pat Kane was drafted in 2007. 3 years later, they were hoisting a cup in Chicago. And this was a huge turnaround for that organization, because 3 years earlier, they were getting trounced by the likes of the Detroit Red Wings on a nightly basis. Believe me, I was doing the highlights in London back in those days. I would cut highlights 10 minutes to 11, like literally 15 minutes before we were going to air. And it was, 5-1 Chicago, 5-1. And I'd have everything prepared. Literally at 11 o'clock, I'd check the score. It was 5-5. The Blackhawks would blow a lead. Detroit would win. And that was it. And then Pat Kane came along. Jonathan Taves came along. Duncan Keith came along. Dustin Bufflin came along. All these cats. Things changed. They won cups. 5, 6, 7, 8 years later, the Leafs kind of start transforming like the Blackhawks. And what do they have to show for it? One series win. So maybe things change this time around. T-Sack, you get T-Sack here. Oh, good. Deadly Dad Gaming. Nice to see you, buddy. What's going on, Norm? Well, I'm just hanging out with you guys. Just a few in the chat, and that it certainly means a lot. Remember, guys, like the content, subscribe to the channel. If you are with me right now, there's like 31 people, not too many. You got to like the content on YouTube, subscribe to what we're doing. If you're not subscribing, but you're watching all the time, it's kind of weird, don't you think? Steve O, where is he? Patches had a great game considering he's been off 2 months. The thing about a guy like Patches is he's got to think to himself that every game he plays is like one of the last games he'll ever play at this stage of his career. When I say one of the last games, it might be one of the last 200. It might be one of the last 50. So he plays with reckless abandon. He plays like his life depends on it because it absolutely does. And this isn't his first rodeo. The guy wore the fucking C for the Habs, right? He's been through the battles against the Bruins. He's been through deep playoff runs. He knows what it's about. You can plug him in and he's going to go. So yeah, T-Sack says Patches is very solid. Damn straight he is. And it's nice to have him out there. And that's no disrespect to Nick Robertson, who will probably draw back in. But, Patches throws the body. He knows how to position himself well. He obviously knows he's a role player right now. Why the hell wouldn't you want that cat out there? And at the end of the day, the dudes who are sitting in the press box, don't sell them short. Don't sell them short. I don't look at those dudes and say, you know what, you guys are just not good enough to get in, but we may need you down the line. So, please be ready. They're good enough. But if you're going to play on a team that aspires to be successful in the playoffs and win a championship, it's very discerning, right? You may be capable, but someone else in that particular role that is required is more capable, so you be prepared. And, it's a war of attrition. So we don't even know whether the guys in the press box may become heroes in the next couple of weeks. Okay, so Deadly Dad Gaming wants to challenge me here. Okay, whatever. Norm, you can't compare the Blackhawks rebuild to the Leafs. They drafted all those guys before Kane. Kane was the final piece. Okay. What I'm saying is they rebuilt a team and won Stanley Cups. What did the Leafs do? Nylander was around before Matthews. Marner was on the radar at the same point. Riley came aboard. It doesn't matter how the team was built. It's just that the Leafs went from nothing to something that really should have been that never really got there. The same way the Blackhawks did. So, nothing, no blueprints are followed exact, but it's just like from nothing to everything. The Leafs had nothing and could have been everything. And 10 years on, they still aren't where they want to be. And I think we can all agree on that. Anybody else I want to get to before we take off? Where are we? I saw a few others. We've got Mario Valella. Hi from Niagara Falls. You know what? I love Niagara Falls. We go all the time. We're at the convention center for my daughter's cheer event. Stay at the Marriott. We like going there when the rooms are $200 a night, not $700 a night. Niagara Falls is one of my favorite places. It's kind of pricing me out of late, but at the end of the day, together we'll all have Niagara Falls. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me tonight. A bit of a solo show just to get some content going, just to let you guys know that I love you very much and I appreciate everything you do for us. Mike and I will reconvene for the Sunday Spectacular. That'll be after Game 4. So the question is, will the Leafs sweep this? I'm going to put up a poll, Leafs Convo on YouTube, the community portion. Will the Leafs sweep the series? You guys can go on there and vote. I know your hearts will say yes. Your heads, I'd like you to incorporate the way you think about things into your decision. It's okay if you don't believe they're going to sweep the series because, at the end of the day, the Ottawa Senators are going to punch back. The question will be, can the Leafs sustain the punching, cool it down, and give themselves a chance to win it late, the same way they kind of endured in a game 3, which was really, really nice. I was going to take off, but my boy Snake Plissken is in the mix. Norm, you and Mike are by far the best Leafs combo team. Thank you very much. That means a lot to us. We just do what we do, and we don't pander to anybody. We don't placate. We just do what we are, and we go for as long as we possibly can. So that's pretty much about it. Yeah, thank you for being with us tonight. And I'm going to do some more solo shows when Mike's not available, just to increase the numbers and spend time with you guys. Because as I said, the Leafs Convo isn't forever, right? The way we were able to come together and talk and kibitz and just share our joy of hockey and the Maple Leafs, as this group won't be forever. So for the time being, let's just have a good experience and use this opportunity to get to know one another a little more and to talk and enjoy what the Leafs are doing, up 3-0. If they were down 3-0, I'm sure Mike would have made time for us to shit all over the Maple Leafs and get us prepared for the impending doom. But considering things are going well, I think he's laying a bit low and kind of biding his time. Where's my boy? Steve-O. Great show, Norm. Keep them coming. Yeah, I will. And you guys keep on supporting the Leafs Convo because we're kind of all in this together. Mike Villela, Norm, I like your interaction with the chat board. Yeah, why the hell not? And I'm going to do more of this. And I'm hoping, guys, like it's late April. You've got a round 2, a conference final, and potentially Stanley Cup. I mean, those things aren't compressed into 3 weeks. I mean, that's going to push through May, potentially into June. Can you imagine that with our early summer tans still talking this way and going on about the Maple Leafs? My boy, convict Marcus Daly. I got to get him in the OG. The only Leafs podcast that doesn't butter things up. Well, certainly when Mike isn't here, but when I am, it's a little bit softer. So I just thought I would take the opportunity to kind of make you guys feel great and let you know that I really do appreciate you. I'm going to step away. We'll take the next, 12, 15, 16, 17 hours to cool down. We got a hockey game to go. If the Leafs sweep this thing, it's going to be a joyous occasion on the Sunday Spectacular, which isn't too far off. Gotta go, guys. That's it. Mike's not here, but Norm is out for Oak Ridge Ford. Don't forget, I'm your guy to get your next vehicle with. I do your Leafs content, so come and meet me for a truck or a car or something. Low interest rates, I'll take care of you. Super Coop, there he is. There's an OG if there ever was one. Go Leafs, go. Go Leafs Convo, go. Hey, Michael Matthew, thank you very much for being with us. I appreciate that. For Mike, who's not here, I'm Norm, the Leafs Convo for Oak Ridge Ford. Tonight, the solo show is out.